On News 3 New Mexico, gas prices are back on the decline.
High winds and a fire weather warning. Find out more in my full weather forecast.
KENW Portales hosted a Holy Festival recently. Find out about that story and more right now.
This is News 3 New Mexico, your local source for news, sports, and first weather.
Good evening and welcome to News 3 New Mexico. I'm Andres Chavez.
And I'm Paige Guard. Thank you so much for watching.
Days after a shooting at a truck stop in Tularosa, the community remains in shock. Witnesses believe that shots were fired following an altercation between a car and a large truck. Investigation by the Otero County Sheriff's Department and New Mexico State Police is still ongoing, and currently no information is available about the victim or the perpetrator. We expect to see more information released in the coming weeks as the investigation continues.
Yesterday, an Amber Alert was issued for a missing 10-year-old child, Carlos Hernandez. He was taken by his non-custodial mother, 39-year-old Angelique Sanchez, and his whereabouts and well-being aren't currently known. His mother was last seen driving with Carlos in a white Hyundai Sonata, but the vehicle has since been recovered by the police in Albuquerque. Anyone who sees Angelique Sanchez or Carlos Hernandez is encouraged to call 911 immediately.
Last week, cases of highly pathogenic avian influenza were detected in chickens at a poultry facility in Roosevelt County, according to a report by the New Mexico Livestock Board and USDA National Veterinary Services Laboratories. The facility in the report remains unidentified, but all birds at the facility will be euthanized. State authorities may investigate backyard flocks nearby. In the meantime, residents with flocks are encouraged to watch for signs of avian flu, such as lethargy, sudden decreases in egg quality and production, and respiratory distress. It's highly recommended to keep your flock in their coop and maintain good hygiene before and after interacting with birds to mitigate the possibility of the disease spreading to your flock.
The building is still smoldering, but plans are already in the works to rebuild the Hampton Farms peanut shelling facility in Portales. According to an article in the Eastern New Mexico News, Hampton Farms Vice President R.P. Watson says the company would like to be prepared to handle and mill the 2025 peanut crop in October 2025. That means a quick build of the facility, mostly destroyed by the fire, which started April 15th. Damage right now is estimated to be $20 million, and the building is being allowed to burn. It's confirmed by the company that only one Hampton Farms worker was injured in the blaze and has already been released from the hospital after suffering first-degree burns. Hampton Farms has 3 plants in Portales. No one has released information about the cause of the fire, but several workers who wanted to remain anonymous tell KENW that they've been told it was started by a spark from a welding torch. The fire remains under investigation with no official cause given to the media. A company spokesperson says employees at the plant did not lose their jobs and instead were transferred to other facilities as another shift will be added to the primary shelling plant.
Average gasoline prices in New Mexico have fallen 6.5 cents per gallon in the last week, averaging $3.19 a gallon. That's according to Gas Buddy's survey of 1,105 stations in New Mexico. Prices in New Mexico are 4.8 cents per gallon lower than a month ago and stand 42.1 cents per gallon lower than a year ago. According to Gas Buddy price reports, the cheapest station in New Mexico was priced at $2.67 a gallon, while the most expensive was $3.79 a gallon. That's a difference of $1.12 a gallon. News 3 New Mexico found stations in Portales advertising gas at $3.18 a gallon at CNS, as well as all subs. The national average price of gasoline has risen 4.3 cents per gallon in the last week, averaging now to $3.64 a gallon. And as we speak about gas prices, a lot of people are going to get ready for vacations. What's it going to look like for them as they travel out for the summer?
Yeah, well, we're going to be seeing a lot of high winds and a lot of fire weather watches throughout the state. But as you can see right now, the country as a whole isn't receiving a whole lot of rain as we usually get, but we are seeing some of it on the western portion, as we see over here in Nevada, Idaho, and Wyoming, and a little bit into Colorado and West New Mexico. But we also have our allergy report as well. As you can see, our grass and tree allergies are still extremely high right now, so be sure to keep on the lookout for that. We also have a fire weather warning that's going to be in all of this pink color right here in Curry, Quay, Roosevelt, and San Miguel counties until Thursday at 9. And in this golden color right here, we have a high wind warning in Chavez, Lincoln, Socorro, and Torres until Thursday at 8. And I'll have more on these fire weather warnings in my full weather forecast. Back to you.
Thank you, Jonathan. Private Homer J. Mitchell, who died fighting in World War II, will finally be laid to rest this Friday, April 26th at 1 p.m. in the Portales Cemetery. Mitchell was killed in the Pachten forest in Germany on December 10, 1944. His body couldn't be recovered due to heavy artillery fire, and efforts to find remains following the war did not recover his remains. In July 2023, his remains were finally identified, and now he's come home. All those who wish to attend this burial ceremony on Friday are welcome to come.
The city of Clovis is hosting its Pioneer Days PRCA Rodeo from May 2nd to May 4th. The rodeo is hosting several different events from across Clovis, including a Queens Love to Read event at 10 a.m. over at the Clovis Carver Public Library on May 2nd, and the 52nd annual PRCA Rodeo later that day. For this event, make sure to wear red and white and blue because it's Military Appreciation Night, and all active duty military get into the event for just $1 with their military ID. On Friday, May 3rd, it's Tough Enough to Wear Pink Day, a day centered on supporting women's breast cancer awareness that features events such as the team steer and calf roping at the Curries County Event Center at 8 a.m. and the rodeo continuing at 7 p.m. And finally, on Saturday, May 4th, the parade starts at 10 a.m. on Main Street, and the final night of the rodeo concludes starting at 7 p.m. Registration for that parade and more information about the events can be found at www.clovispioneerdaysrodeo.com.
Eastern New Mexico University has a long history of celebrating cultures from around the world. Recently, that involved customs and traditions of India through a presentation of Holi Festival. Faustina Mensah tells us what it's all about.
Popular and significant Hindu festival celebrated as the Festival of Colors, Love and Spring. It celebrates the eternal and divine love of the deities, Radha and Krishna. Additionally, the day signifies the triumph of good over evil. Eastern New Mexico University hosted its own Holi celebration, bringing a splash of color to the campus. The event, organized by ENMU's Office of Multicultural Affairs, aimed to introduce the university community to the rich traditions of the Holi Festival, celebrated by millions of people around the world, particularly in India.
What people do is they just come out and they do procession and then they show how good they are at standing on horses.
Dr. Priyanka Shalat, Assistant Professor of Communication Disorders in the Department of Health and Human Services, led an enlightening presentation on the significance of Holi.
What he did, like I told you, it has its roots in the ancient myth history to mark triumph of good over evil.
The celebration included traditional Holi activities such as the throwing of colored powders, music and dancing, allowing everyone to partake in the festivities and learn about the festival in a fun and interactive way. Catalina Arana Mendoza, one of the event organizers, shared the inspiration behind bringing Holi to ENMU.
The reason why we wanted to bring it is because what better way to learn about different cultures than through having fun, and this would be a super amazing presentation.
The event attracted attendees from various backgrounds, including Charity Otain Dakwa, an international student from Ghana, who took part in her first Holi celebration.
It feels surreal. It's so nice to really be playing with colors, and I'm having all the pleasure and joy it comes with.
For Charity and the others, this experience from a world away involved an international understanding of divine love. Reporting for News 3 New Mexico, I'm Faustina Mensah.
The next event for the Multicultural Affairs Department is the Sashing Ceremony, which is organized yearly for international students graduating in the spring. This will take place on the 26th of April. The reception begins at 5 p.m., followed by the main event at 6 p.m.
Coming up after the break, Jonathan will have their full weather forecast for you.
But first, here's a look at today's financial market.
Welcome back to News 3 New Mexico. Let's take another look at that weather, shall we? As we can see, we've got a lot of rain kind of towards the central part of the United States over here in like Wyoming and Colorado. And we're seeing some snow up here in Quebec, Canada. But we are seeing most rain in kind of Nevada, Idaho area, kind of in Wyoming. And as we take a look at New Mexico, we are seeing some scattered rainstorms throughout the state, kind of central near Albuquerque and then kind of on this western part of the state. But as we look at eastern New Mexico, we have a little bit of rain over here next to Roswell, but overall not a whole lot of precipitation going on. We are seeing a fire weather watch in this pink strip coming right to left in Curry, DeBaca, Quay, and Roosevelt counties from Thursday till 9 p.m. In this golden color right here, we have a high wind warning in Chavez, DeBaca, Lincoln, and Torrance counties, and all of this gold until Thursday at 8 p.m. And finally, for the rest of this pink color, we're seeing that fire weather warning again in Catrone, Rio Arriba, Santa Fe, and Socorro counties. Taking a look at our wind speeds right now. It is currently not showing up right now. There we go. We're seeing a lot of 20 to 30 mile per hour winds throughout most of the state, but we are seeing some 50 mile per hour winds up here on Friday towards like 11:30, and it's going to progress to about 20 to 30 miles per hour throughout most of the state, except for we are going to see 50 miles per hour up here in the south central part. Our current temperatures, we're seeing a lot of 70s, 80s throughout most of the state. We've got 79 up here in Farmington. We're seeing 80s down here in the southwest. We're seeing 70s in Santa Fe and Albuquerque, as well as Raton. And we're seeing our mid to high 80s in Carlsbad and Roswell. And taking a look at eastern New Mexico and West Texas, we're seeing 78 in Portales, 76 at Clovis, and 78 in Lubbock. Tonight's lows, we're seeing a lot of 50s throughout most of the state, as well as 40s, as we got 43 in Gallup, 49 in Las Cruces, and 39 in Santa Fe. And we're seeing 40 in Raton and 57 in Carlsbad. And for eastern New Mexico and West Texas, we're seeing 52 in Portales, 54 in Amarillo, and 51 in Tucumcari. For tomorrow's highs, we're starting to dip into the 90s as we start to hit the summer temperatures. We've got 62 in Gallup, 73 in Albuquerque with 75 in Raton. And as we take a look at eastern New Mexico and West Texas, we're seeing 90s in Roswell and Lubbock, 88 in Portales, and 86 in Clovis. Taking a look at our 7-day forecast for Roswell, we're seeing a lot of wind on Thursday and Saturday as those temperatures are starting to head into summer territory as we hit those upper 80s into the lower 90s. For Carlsbad, we're seeing wind all throughout the rest of this week with a chance of rain on Wednesday at 88 degrees. Tucumcari, we're seeing wind all throughout that weekend, hitting 79 and 71, and we're seeing 82 showers on Wednesday. And finally, for Portales, we're seeing all those wind throughout the weekend, and we are seeing a good chance of rain as well on Wednesday, with our high being 90 on Tuesday.
Well, hot and windy weekend sounds like spring in New Mexico.
Yeah, we're on our way to those summer temperatures.
Well, I'm still definitely looking forward to that rain on Wednesday. I know you had mentioned the fire watch warnings as well as the high winds, so I'm definitely looking forward to the moisture. Well, that is all the news we have for you guys right now. We'll be back with more after the break. Welcome back. The war in Gaza is sparking pro-Palestinian protests at major colleges and universities across the U.S.
As Jen Sullivan reports, the demonstrations are prompting many school officials to take extraordinary steps to confront the growing tensions.
Protests erupting on New York's Columbia University for a 7th day in a row. Pro-Palestinian protesters taking over this quad and setting up tents, a violation of university policy. Students demanding a ceasefire in Gaza. The turmoil on campus causing many Jewish students to feel unsafe.
This is not a welcoming environment.
It's reached a boiling point in terms of anti-Semitism.
Classes now being offered online for the rest of the semester. The university saying Tuesday that the safety of our community is our #1 priority. The protests at Columbia inspiring similar demonstrations at other campuses. At New York University, students and faculty clashing with police. The NYPD arresting more than 130 people.
There is no place for hate in this city.
Similar protests staged at Yale University, where dozens of students were also arrested. Pro-Palestinian students at MIT condemning Israel's actions in Gaza.
There's a genocide going on.
The protests sweeping across the country. On Berkeley's campus in California, students setting up this solidarity encampment.
It's time that the university implement real protective measures for their Muslim, Palestinian, Arab, and pro-Palestinian students.
The White House says President Joe Biden is monitoring the protests, but won't say if he believes New York officials should deploy the National Guard to restore order. In New York, I'm Jen Sullivan reporting.
Thanks, Jen. Solar energy is going to become more accessible for low-income New Mexico residents, according to the New Mexico Energy, Minerals, and Natural Resources Department. The $156 million in solar energy funding was awarded to the state of New Mexico by the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency and is planned to be administered as part of the state's Solar for All program. An estimated 2,910 New Mexico households 20,000, who might not have been able to access solar energy otherwise. The program is expected to launch and begin its first solar system installations by early 2025 and will offer things like grants and low-interest loans to eligible households.
Part of protecting Earth is conserving our water resources, and the New Mexico Environment Department is looking for feedback on one potential conservation tactic: water reuse. The proposed water reuse would involve repurposing treated water from oil and gas activities for purposes outside of both industries, but with restrictions for its safe use. A hearing on water reuse will take place at 9 a.m. on May 13th in room 317 at the New Mexico State Capitol.
The city of Portales voted on April 22nd to rescind its Stage 3 water restrictions and to shift back to Stage 2 water restrictions. This change follows the firing of city manager Sarah Austin, where her contract was terminated without cause in a 6-2 vote. Under the modified Stage 2 water restrictions, each household is permitted to water for 30 minutes per week. Odd addresses may water from 9 p.m. on Monday to 7 a.m. Tuesday, while even addresses may water from 9 p.m. Thursday to 7 a.m. Friday. Reclaimed water and gray water may be used at any time. Additionally, cars can be washed with buckets or shut-off hoses, and spas and swimming pools may be filled once, provided that water is recirculated and not drained. Controversy persists in the community following these changes, as many residents dislike how water restrictions have impacted their households and feel that water policies are ineffective compared to those in Clovis, which draws from the same Ogallala waterifer.
If you want to show off a bit of support for your community and have fun while you're at it, you might enjoy volunteering at the upcoming spring runoff in Santa Fe. The event is hosted by Santa Fe Brewing and features vendors, live music, outdoor activities, food, and raffles, all for the purpose of supporting the New Mexico Outdoor Recreation Division. The spring runoff will take place this weekend on Saturday, April 27th, starting at noon. It will be hosted at the Santa Fe Brewing Company headquarters. If you're interested in volunteering, you'll have to be 21 years of age or older. Anyone who helps out can expect to leave with some Nature Nino merchandise. You can contact Sarah at natureninos.org for more information on volunteering for the event.
Coming up after the break, Jaden will have the latest news in the sports world, so stay tuned.
Welcome back, sports fans. I'm Jane Phillips. Let's see what's going on in the sports world. ENW softball is gearing up to close out their season this weekend. It'll be your last chance to catch a softball game as they have a 3-game series against St. Mary's, as the first pitch is set for Friday at 2 p.m. at Greyhound Softball Field, and the second game is following that at 4 p.m. And then on Saturday, the Lady Hounds close out the season at 12 p.m. as the senior ceremony will take place after the game. We'll have scores next week. ENW baseball is hitting the road to close out their season as they just played St. Mary's for their final home game series, and the Hounds won the series 3-1 and had a monster win on senior day 10-5. What a weekend for the Hounds. They're heading to Lubbock, Texas to face number 18 Lubbock Christian in a 4-game series to close out the season. We'll have scores and more next week. As the NFL long way of the draft kicks off tomorrow night in Detroit, Michigan, the first round will start at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time in Chicago. The Chicago Bears will have the first pick as they are projected to draft the 2023 Heisman winner Caleb Williams from the University of South California. And the second and third round will be Friday at 5 p.m. and the rest of the rounds will be Saturday at 10 a.m. as the 2024-2025 NFL season is getting ready to kick off. ENW track and field is getting close to the end of their season as they head over to Lubbock, Texas at Texas Tech University this Friday and Saturday, as they have a meet after this on May 9th. That will be through May 11th, and it'll be the Lone Star Conference Outdoor Championship meet. That's all the sports I have for you tonight. We'll be back at the desk after the break.
Welcome back. Jonathan, can we get one more look at that weather, please?
Yes, as we can see over here in Portales, we are seeing some cloudy skies on Wednesday at 87. But wrapping up this week, we're going to see some high winds with some higher temperatures with Thursday at 90 and Friday at 82.
Well, I'm definitely looking forward to it, but definitely going to have to get ready for that wind, though.
Absolutely. And, you know, those warmer temperatures, it's shorts weather for sure.
Oh, yeah, time to break out those shorts and those sunglasses.
But at least get to bring out the kite, though. That wind, Thursday and Friday.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to go fly a kite. I think that's what I might do. I think I have to set that in the schedule now. I'm going to have to write fly a kite.
For sure.
I'm looking forward to it. Well, that is all the news we have for you guys tonight. Thank you guys so much for watching News 3 New Mexico.
Have a good night.